Long years ago, we made a tryst with destiny, and now the time comes when we shall redeem our pledge.
Everyone understood the wisdom of such a course, as father did not want to endanger all family members at the same time. Such were the times when you did whatever came to mind in order to survive. Even though my elder brothers were only 14 and 12, father thought that they would be safer traveling with others. He was assured that they would all meet in Amritsar, across the border. We were tired of traveling for so long in the evening. Since we had not eaten or drunk since morning, we ate whatever mother had cooked and brought from home. Everyone prepared to sleep, but sleep was hard to come by through fear. Mother recalled that one of the Muslim servants in the house, while being rebuked, had said, "Now our time is coming to rule. You will all have to go." Father was lamenting that he had not believed that the country would be divided on the basis of religion. He had spent most of his life among Muslim neighbors. And when the time came, he had to leave barefoot in the early morning. Before the village awoke to preempt facing the fury, he could foresee that they would all be killed if they remained. He recollected that only 6 months ago he had visited Delhi so as to be with his brothers-in-law Basant and Shuni Lal. He regretted that he did not heed their advice to bring his family early. He would not believe that partition would occur so soon. He never wished to take this step sooner, so as not to jeopardize the lives of his family. He could not face the thought of his beloved country being divided on the basis of religion. He was bitter about it, and he cursed the politicians who had taken the step. We, children, had dozed off and never knew about the discussion. Even if I had been awake, I would not have understood the talk. A child started crying for water. There was no water in the room. The door was shut after the Hindus entered the room. In one corner, there was a pitcher containing a little water. As father was about to pour the water into a glass, a sharp knock was heard at the door. Everybody became silent. The knocking got louder and louder until the door was smashed open. The Hindus saw outside some Muslim men armed with knives, guns, and lathis. They ordered everyone to come out. Father, on coming out, uttered Allahu Akbar in order to save the family by making it known that we were Muslims. But what was in the store for them? "Kill them, they are Hindus," shouted the men. Grandfather picked up my younger brother and me. He slowly came out of the room amidst the confusion and headed for the station, hoping to hide there. He spotted jute bags on the floor of the station, and we hid ourselves in them. I remember that vividly as I was thirsty and asked for water. Grandfather put his fist over my mouth and said, "Don't cry, be quiet." He knew that it was difficult for us children as we were thirsty. We could not keep track of time because it dragged on slowly. Finally, daylight filtered through the jute bags. It was quiet. We walked back to the place we had left at night so as to ascertain others' fate. There was a military truck parked right outside. Grandfather could not believe the horror of the scene. Military personnel were moving mutilated bodies, giving attention to those who could be saved. Grandfather finally spotted my mother, who had been hit in the head. Worse, father had been targeted with bullets and with lathis. Grandfather inquired about his younger son, Jiwanda, but he was nowhere to be found. The military personnel decided to take the wounded to a nearby hospital, crossing the border to Amritsar. Mother was bleeding from the knife wound on the head. She was hardly concerned about it, as my father had been shot. Grandfather inquired about the other ladies in the room. 2 of them, who were young, could not be found. He cried out,
These harrowing scenes from the partition of 1947 are etched into the collective memory of our nation. Each story, like the one of my family, is a testament to the resilience and indomitable spirit of those who survived. As we recount these tales of sorrow and of courage, we ensure that the sacrifices and suffering of our ancestors are not forgotten. By sharing these untold stories, we bridge the gap between generations, allowing the youth of today to grasp the magnitude of the struggles that forged the path to our present. In remembering, we honor the past and inspire a future built on understanding, empathy, and unity.